5. We're a bit. At least we didn't start 10 now. No, we started 9:40.
Yeah,
It's a good sign.
we had 10 minutes of technical difficulties, which is just the
Yeah.
case.
It's always the
This
case.
is episode 30 something, and we
Yeah,
have
we're
yet
at
to have one single episode with no problems.
yeah, where we just like, you guys ready? Yep, then start. It's always like, wait, my video's not working. Well, my audio's not working, and then Dale's just waiting in the background. Just mine's working fine. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong here.
He never seems to have any issues, does he? But,
Yeah, just yeah, with his camera and he's even using a DSLR. So it's when I was using that, it's it's hard. It's a lot of setting up. But I think it's on his camera. I think it's the brand that he uses. I think he uses. I forgot the brand. Panasonic. No, I don't know.
it's probably expensive. Dale left
yeah,
the
it
camera
is.
here last time he came.
Yeah, and
He brought a camera and left it, and we were like, "Oh, can we send it back to you?" And he didn't seem to.
yeah, it's fine. It's an
motivated
older
to-
camera. I'll just buy a new one here.
Yeah, I think he was.
And
like,
he did. I think he did buy a new one, a new camera.
I think he already had a new one.
He might have just brought his old one.
Yeah. When we told him that we can send it back, he said, "No, I
We've
already."
never opened it. I know exactly
Yeah.
where it is. It's like in the exact same spot that he
Yeah.
left it.
Yeah.
It's like a sacred artifact.
Don't touch that. Don't touch
I don't
that.
even know
Is
what's
that-
in there. There could be $1 million
Like-
in there.
You can sell that to eBay.
No, I would never do that.
Yeah.
I keep it
Yeah.
for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I know he has by that time I know he had a new camera already. I didn't get to see it though because he only uses it when he's doing those street photography stuff. Yeah, that's the time. I didn't see it like what do you call this, in person, or him using it. Because you see my camera, right? Because I take pictures of you guys. For him, he takes pictures of the streets, dogs,
and whatnot.
Yeah.
Dogs, and there's like a person.
Yeah. The
Is it
person
the dog or
walking the dog.
The person walking the dog.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like
Or maybe it's like you've seen those collection of photos where the dog owner looks just like the dog. Like they have
They
similar
side by
looks.
side, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
doppelganger dog
Yeah.
owners. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what Dale's into.
Yeah.
I
To
wouldn't
start
be
there.
surprised. Was the stick thing that he was talking about, or was that you, Louis? The
Stick
stick
Nation.
rating. It was like a rating system on Instagram about
Yeah.
rate sticks.
It was Dale. Yeah, it was Dale who
Okay.
brought it up. Yeah.
So he's probably been active on that in that community, I imagine.
Yeah. Maybe he's looking for sticks.
what's your
Yeah.
camera, Louis?
Yeah. What,
Is it a DSLR or?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's not DSLR now. It's actually a mirrorless. It's another
Okay.
technology. So that's why it's better to use it as a webcam because it's all digital. I don't want to get into the technical stuff of it, but it's called like mirrorless SLRs. So which means you can still swap the lenses, but the sensor is a different technology now. Because I think before there's mirrors inside the camera. That's why it's bulky. If you see the DSLR, it's when you look at it like top view, it's thick, right? There's like a space between the camera and then
yeah.
because there's
Got one right
mirrors. Oh yeah, so there's
For example,
mirror. Oh, that's a Nikon. Who owns that?
this is glasses.
Oh, what is it? Z? Is it the Z already or the?
This is an old one. This is from 2015.
Oh yeah, D.
500.
Yeah, so that's a DSLR. So it's still thicker. The newer technology is mirrorless cameras. If you already noticed there are like thinner cameras, and Nikon is not that good with those cameras yet. They've never been, but I'm loyal to them because I already have expensive lenses for Nikon, so I have to buy a body that's also Nikon. But Sony's they're pretty famous for that now. They have very good technology on it, but you can see it's thinner. and then you, it's called the live view, the one when where you look at it, the when you put it in front of your eye, there's like a small square, right? You look into it, and then you see the picture through the lens.
Mhm.
For mirrorless, so they're doing that via, let's say, mirrors. So you see the actual image from the lens when you look at that when you're using a DSLR. For mirrorless, since there's no mirrors anymore, so it's actually a screen in there. So you're using so what you're seeing is actually it could be the final picture already, if it makes sense. So it's like an LCD in there. So if you just try to imagine it, it's not the what the lens sees. It's through the lens and into the sensor, and that's what you're seeing in the screen already.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
so it's
I didn't even know that there was mirrors in cameras. I didn't know that was how that worked. I guess it makes sense. I never thought about it though.
yeah,
So that's
there are.
fascinating.
Yeah, if you can actually you can actually use that as a webcam though. But it's I wouldn't suggest, because I mean we're having hard time, with the audio if you use that as a
We can
webcam.
only handle
yeah.
so
I
many
wouldn't-
issues. Oh my god! Thank God the laptop works.
Wait, I can't hear
It's-
Liza. Is it?
Test.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, Mate,
It went off.
I almost asked you, but I didn't want to offend you.
See, I
No,
can see it. I can see it on
Okay.
the
Yeah,
thing.
it was
The,
on earlier. Yeah, that's always
Keep it on.
the scary stuff, right? Where you it suddenly, like, no, suddenly it started working, but you don't know why. Same with coding, right? I think that's like when you try to run something, why is this? It's working, but I didn't know why
And
it's.
then you just don't
It's working.
have
Why is it not
you don't have the patience to really know what happened.
Yeah,
So you kind of just have to move on and accept that it worked.
it works.
This setup is like that. It's like one day it'll just register and say, "Hey, do you want to use your Zoom audio?" Yes, of course. And some days it's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see
Very-
any Zoom. There's no Zoom.
Very temperamental.
I do the
It's
same
like
thing
I
right
don't
now.
feel like working today.
Yeah, it's just like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not here. I'm
So
checked out. I'm out sick.
I'm not gonna cooperate with you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's,
give you a
it's
problem. So yeah, but
but at least showing now. And then you're using the same cables. You're using the same. I would assume
Same,
you're
I mean,
using everything the same.
I promise you, Louis, if you teach me how to do something, I'll do it the same way forever.
until it doesn't work
and
anymore.
then I
Until
don't
it
know
doesn't work,
anything.
and then it's
So it worked one time, and I've never changed my process. I've done it the exact same way because that's all I know. That's all I know is just to follow the rules. I plug it here, I plug it there. It's all set up.
yeah.
If it doesn't work, I'm absolutely crushed, and I fall apart. And
It's
I
fine.
hate troubleshooting. You guys, probably because of your
I mean,
careers that you've chosen, have to have some patience on that stuff. I don't have it, man. I just don't. That's enough for me to want to smash this computer. I just want to absolutely scream at the top of my lungs. I'm still mad about it. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
I'm like an 80-year-old man when it comes to these like technology
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah. But for us, it gets annoying if it doesn't work. Like there's, like, example, like my camera when it wasn't working. I was already thinking, like, I think I can just move on and use the webcam on my laptop, but there's still that thing, like, no, it was working last week. Why is it that? So that's why I always say, just give me another 5 minutes. I think I can figure this out. And wait, give me another 5 minutes. I think I can figure this out.
Yeah.
It always annoys me. Like, why is it
You
not
should-
working?
Don't let the technology win.
Yeah, don't let an inanimate object
Defeat you.
defeat you. Although AI could be
Although they could
They may
be
not be
steps
the
ahead
same
already.
they
forever.
might
Yeah.
there might be
You may have to
more
change that.
animated than us.
Yeah.
Which will you see those robots that Tesla released? Did you? I just saw that on my phone.
Like a
minutes ago.
robo
There's a minivan, and then there's robots that were like walking around.
car or something.
Yeah,
I read something about that.
Ah.
It's a different type
maybe I
of
shouldn't have brought it up because I don't know anything about it. But there's definitely some changes on the horizon when it comes to like automated vehicles and automated like help around the house. You know, to do chores.
Well, it starts with that, and then that's what we see in the media. Like imagine like maybe the military is already doing like actual soldiers.
Yeah, we've seen this movie
Yeah.
before. I
Mm-hmm.
think we all know how it ends too.
Yeah, I
What
mean
movie?
like
Doesn't it, like-
Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know,
What was that?
Smash Arnold's like
Say it,
Terminator,
say it. Whenever
Mm,
Filipinos
No.
say his last name,
and
it's always funny to me.
yeah,
Not
We
that
saw-
I can say it any better.
I'm gonna say Arnold. I'm not gonna say
If Glaza tries to say his last name, she will say a racist.
you
yeah.
can say it correctly if I really try to, but
Oh no, wait. I think your mic's breaking off. I think it's a connection. Liza's mic is because the sentence doesn't really you know is because right now it's not working anymore.
test.
Is that better?
I
There,
think
that's
the-
working now.
I think the wire got
Sorry.
clamped up.
Oh.
Anyway,
That should be it was a punchline. She was talking about Arnold's last name.
Because yeah,
Glaza can't say Arnold's last name because it will sound like
no.
the N word.
Growing up, knowing his name, there was no. I didn't think too much of it until like I met you,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and, and then when I don't know if you caught it or something, but it sounded like racist.
yeah, I caught it. And I was like, oh my gosh, what did you just say? It wasn't like obvious, and obviously she didn't mean to do it, but it sounded enough like it where I was like,
it's
maybe you
it's
just want to
the-
call him like
it's the key word because same as Glyza, we don't really care in here, right? Going up, in even care in here, even you say it in because we don't think about it, and then when I got a sign there, and then of course from the movies or podcasts that you hear, you get more conscious saying that, and now. So the more you think about not saying it, is the time like, wait, am I saying this wrong? And they might hear differently.
No.
Hear it
Yeah.
differently. Yeah.
I
Well,
think
in here,
it's-
nobody cares here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
think
hate
it's
to-
because like because you have to kind of pause in between his last name.
Yeah.
That last word kind of separated from the
Yeah,
from
it's
the
a
last name.
weird
No, so-
any name that's 4 syllables. It's just way too long.
You have to break it. Yeah. You have to.
yeah.
You kind of like to have to break it apart. Yeah.
And that only came to me when when I was when I met you and I started saying his name. But when I was growing up, I've never thought of that.
Yeah. Well, did you even know what the N word was growing up? Were
Like
you
it-
aware of that
That it's
term?
yeah, but I didn't know that it was offensive.
Yeah.
Like I have cousins that have like darker skin tone, and
We call them that.
We
Yeah.
call them
I'm
Oh,
good.
really?
yeah, not the actual word, but the equivalent to that.
Yeah.
And it's something that's not offensive.
Oh, I get what
Like
you
it's a
mean.
tease, but it's not offensive. Like
yeah. You have to
just
sort of
laugh
grow
about
into it. I remember the first time I heard about the N word, I was in like 4th grade, and someone on the playground said that word.
Mhm.
So the rumor went out like he said the N word. I was like, the N word. I was like, I know the S word and the F word
Mhm.
and the D word. I
Mhm.
was like, the N word? I went home and told my mom, I was like, someone said the N word, Mom. What is that word? Can you tell me? And she was like, we're not going to say that word.
No.
You don't need to know about that. And
No.
it was like years later, I still didn't know. And
Mhm.
then I made the connection like way later on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
'Cause-
still remember.
Because I think it's only offensive in the U.S., right? Because
Yeah.
from what I learned in here, it's an actual word. Because there's a
Yeah, it's a-
race in here that's the dark skin, and there's an actual like race from the Philippines that I'm not gonna say the name of the race because you can just cut my what I've said and like
Yeah,
it's gonna sound bad. But there's actually race in it. It's the actual like word you use for people, like how to describe those people, and then like people use it regularly, but it's not really to what do you call this. Yeah, it's not in like in my mind, it's not to degrade someone. It's just a description.
Yeah.
But it's more sensitive like in the US, like, and then that's how I realized like, oh yeah, you have to be careful if in there because it's different, like it means different
Yeah.
in there.
And
So,
I think intention is very important I mean, obviously, if you're not intending to hurt somebody, but if there's enough people that say like, "Hey, I don't like that word," I'm not going to say it. Just like the
Yeah.
Confederate flag, like, "Hey, don't fly that flag. It's offensive to me." It's like, okay,
Mhm.
I don't like the flag either. You know, get rid of it. I don't know. Maybe I'm going down too much of a controversial.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was, I don't know, I was still in Atlanta and I was in the front seat of an Uber, and like my friends from Atlanta were like at the back,
Yeah.
and I was calling my mom, and there's a place, my mom's hometown is called Negros, or yeah, and I was talking to her, like I was asking her, "Are you going back home to? Are you going to Negros?" and
You were in Atlanta.
and the driver was a black woman, and
Oh wow.
I was like, I didn't realize at the time, but when I went off that Uber, I felt so bad
Yeah.
because
Especially if you're like, are you driving to?
I wasn't talking in English, so I was
Oh,
just.
okay. I was gonna ask
So
that.
she
Like,
just
No, no, I
heard the
wasn't talking
N-word.
English,
what's the
but
sentence?
she heard the word negros.
Yeah, that should.
It's like,
She's like, what is this person talking about? Why are you talking about me?
yeah, I was like,
Mm.
oh my god, I hope she didn't think that I was talking about her because
Yeah.
like I
There's
felt
a
so
name,
bad.
place
Yeah.
of a. Yeah,
And
it's an actual
She
place.
give
like,
you a 1-star passenger rating.
so that was just kind of something that I kind of remembered when I was.
What's
Yeah, because
the word for black is in Spanish?
Yeah.
Is what
yeah,
is it?
Is
that's why
negro.
there's
Negro.
Yeah.
a beer, right? Cerveza
Yeah,
Negra. There's a beer.
That's
Yeah.
the color of
It's
black.
the color black.
But
Mhm.
I think it just got evolved to like, you know, here they adopted
here
it, and
it's
it's like,
just
of course, it's a different word, but it came from that word.
Mhm.
yeah. And then there's the er, and then there's the a on the end of it. A lot
So
of the
are
rappers
both offensive?
Well, I would say for non-black people, all of it is like
Just
offensive
stay
for
away.
someone else to
Just
use.
stay away from
Yeah,
that.
don't say it.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
for
But
black people, I want to say like if it's with the A, it's sort of an endearing term that they use.
Mhm.
it sounds cool
If it's
to
an
me.
ER,
It really
it's
sounds.
always it does sound cool. I mean,
It sounds cool.
Yeah,
I grew
it's
up. I used to wish I was black when I was younger because they
You're-
always ran so fast and jumped so high.
Remember that movie that we watched with Bill Burr or something?
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, it's called
it's like
Happy Dads or something.
old dads or
Old
something,
Dads.
and like there's three of them, and then there was this younger work colleague, and they were in a car, and one of the three guys, old dads, was a black, and then there was a scene where he was asking when you
When you
what
sing
was
a
it
rap
that
song,
what was that band or DM something,
Run DMC or something
or
like that.
and it's
Or
like it's a rap.
NWA. NWA.
It's a rap song, and
Straight Outta
he asked the guy who's white. It's like if you're in the zone, do you say the N word when you sing?
Mhm.
And then it was
Like
kind
if it's you
it's like,
alone listening to the songs. Well, yeah, I
do,
guess I
do you
do.
sing? Yeah, because nobody's around. But right now, if you're in the zone, are you gonna say it? No, because you're here. It's just kind of funny. And then
it's a good bit.
they challenge him. Come on, you can do it. And then he almost did it, but when he saw the black person, he's like, "No, I can't do it. I can't see." And then there was like a surveillance camera on him, and he said the N word, and he got fired.
Yeah,
There was like, oh,
that movie had some funny moments. That was one of them. It was that's pretty good. And Bill Burr, that's like
Right.
his it's like
Yeah,
his movie.
he plays around with those jokes. Like,
Yeah, he loves that stuff and like cancel culture. That the movie goes a lot. It's worth watching. It's called
we haven't
Old
finished
Dads
it.
on Netflix.
I think we stopped halfway. It was like,
It was an
old dad.
It was an airplane movie. Which, by the way, another topic that I didn't mention we could talk about. We just went to Boston
Mhm.
last
Oh
week.
yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah.
It was
Sorry, we
awesome.
started about the for our listeners. We started talking about the N-word guy story. It just came up. So we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about our weekends now.
It's a cultural aspect to
It's
it,
a
right?
funny cultural difference of
Yeah, Filipinos and
Filipinos
in the U.S.
in the U.S. And you gotta obviously we want to respect everyone's culture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
That goes without saying.
yeah. And I think a lot of people finds it fascinating. Like the woman that we talked to in the Amtrak station, she was very like, wow, like she was. So we met this woman on our way from New York.
Amtrak is a train, right?
Yeah, we took an Amtrak from Boston to New York,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, and then
What? We took a train from Boston to New York for a
and
wedding.
we met this
We met a woman.
She's actually an author or something.
She's an
She's
author.
a-
She was like,
Yeah,
she was like,
she's-
oh, I'm going back to. She was in Boston visiting Cape Cod with some friends. So immediately I was like, okay, Cape Cod is like
Very
really
expensive.
very nice place. She's like, I live in the Upper West Side in New York City. Okay, that's also very expensive.
Also, like,
She was like,
must
yeah,
be rich.
Yeah, so most of my time, I split my time there and in
Montreal.
Montreal. I was like, God, that's another
Mm.
expensive city.
Nice.
And then
Yeah.
she was like, my husband was a director, or
Oh.
he worked in movies.
Movies? Oh,
Like this is
wow.
over the course of like hours we were
Yeah,
talking to her. So she this way collected all these things, and I finally was like,
Are you bragging? Who are you?
Like, who are you? And we had to look her up. She's like on Wikipedia. She writes books, and then her husband directed Lord of the Flies.
Or
Oh,
like
should be.
assistant producer or something.
Yeah.
Oh wow, pretty
Lord of the
close. So I
Flies
only
is
know the
amazing.
rings, the flies.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm just
Lord of
making a
the-
joke. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not Lord of the Rings.
But he was
I think that would
Rings.
be Peter Jackson.
he was mostly on documentaries.
He
or-
did documentaries and stuff. But
No,
still pretty cool. And she
So
was fascinating.
she's an
she was-
author. Author. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, auteur.
She was she was asking a lot of things about like differences and all that. She was really like, wow.
Yeah,
She was very
fascinating.
interested with the cultural differences and
Philippines?
stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, we talked about the Philippines. Yeah, so that goes back to cultural differences. Like
Mhm.
people are fascinated to learn things that they're not familiar with. If you open up and you start the conversation,
Yeah.
that's how you learn. You know.
Yeah.
So-
And it's interesting to her because of,
We taught her
her
about Killig.
career.
About what?
Killig?
Oh, Killig.
Killig.
Oh yeah, that's hard. That's always hard to explain.
Like the way that,
Yeah.
like some languages, Louis, have words for something that other languages don't have a word for. Like we don't
Yeah.
have an English word for Killig.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to. I think it was who was.
Sh-
I think it was talking about Eileen with that. Yeah, like how to describe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every time we do, I think Justin was like hard. Justin is Eileen's husband, right? So, yeah, it's hard to describe.
She was very interested on that word that when we disembark
When we left the train.
the train,
Why do you always search for the biggest word you can possibly use?
she asked
Yeah,
for the word again. It's like, what was that word again? Kilig? Killig?
Kilig.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
wanted the
Kilig.
spelling
Yes.
and everything.
And it's like, oh my gosh, maybe it will be on her next book.
Yeah,
Yeah, suddenly there's a character. There's a Filipina in a train. Wow, this sounds so.
Yeah.
In
So that was a
Boston.
really,
yeah, with the white man.
yeah. Hopefully yeah.
But she was fascinating, and like well, just side note about the trip, we fell in love with Boston. It's a really cool city.
Yeah,
Very
and
expensive.
so it's just the two of you, right? You left the
Yeah.
kids in.
Oh my god, we
abandoned them.
Yeah.
We felt so guilty because they stay with
Because
my
you're having
parents.
so much fun. Wow, it's so why is it so much
know.
fun? Oh yeah,
I
kids are
was
at
like,
home.
Oh, I want to.
You would think, but
The
we were,
minute
like,
we
miserable.
flew, it was like, I want to go back.
I know, and every night
Oh,
we did,
okay.
and then we never slept well either. You would think we'd sleep in, but we were still like in this.
Like, yeah,
same, like,
we got
sleep
used
But,
to
pattern.
but you
like,
left them with your parents, right? Adam.
Yeah.
And they had fun. And so we spent the whole time missing them, and then we were back for like 3 hours, and we were already like used to being home. Like, it's amazing how quick you're like, okay. we need
Yeah, it could be
another
a
vacation.
bit, right? Like you could be. I think I've seen it in a movie where the parents are calling. Yeah, do you miss daddy? No, I'm just playing here. Oh, do you miss mommy? No, I'm having fun here, mom. Something like really, you don't miss
Yeah.
mom? And then some of that sense are like, no, they're just playing. No, I think no, I
Yeah.
think they miss us. No, they're just having fun here. Go ahead,
Yeah.
guys, have
Well,
fun. So,
that's because grandparents tend to be more, more at ease, or
Yeah,
like
true, because they know they're getting out.
yeah, they're not gonna impose too much
mm,
disciplining, or they're
yeah,
just
it's
like,
fun.
okay, do whatever you
It's a
want.
fun
Like have
time.
cookies, yeah, have candy, all that.
Yeah,
There's like no
it's
rules.
just like a
Okay, we sleep at 10 o'clock tonight. So
it's like a
that's
vacation
probably
for
why
them
they
too.
enjoy it. Mhm.
It really is, and because they don't have to do any of the disciplining, that's all on the parents. And then when we
Mm.
get to become grandparents, I guess that's when we get our turn
Yeah,
to spoil
Yeah.
kids and stuff. But
we get our revenge, and then
yeah, spoil is what's good. But it was good. It was good. I
Get
saw my
spoiled.
friend get married.
You're gonna spoil your grandparents. What do you want? Cookies? Go ahead.
Not gonna
Have
change your
a-
diaper, Grandma.
There you go. So you were there for a wedding, right, boss? I mean, the based from what I've seen in the,
Yeah.
or
Have you
just
ever
that's
been
just
to-
one of.
Have you ever
that's
been to
just
New
one
York
of it.
City, Louis?
Actually, no, I haven't been there. Just the airport.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Somehow I
it was
didn't
in
put
New
it in
York.
my bucket list in there. I didn't I
Man.
have to go to New York. I forgot. I forgot why.
You would love New York. I mean, I feel like everyone should see New York at least once. You know,
Mhm.
this wedding, but it
but we
wasn't
did not
It wasn't in New York
went
City.
to New York City.
We were in New York State.
We were not.
We were like outside the city, and
Mm.
I was just going to compare it to New York City if you'd been there. But New York City is very flat. You know, you see all the movies. It's a city, just skyscrapers because it's all bedrock.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to the state and you cross over the bridge, it's all mountains, man. It's so weird. Like
So
you're driving up all these intense hills. You feel like you're in the middle of the mountains.
yeah.
So
I feel like you're not near New York City.
No,
You're like
New York.
I feel
it's
like you're-
more like
And we saw Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow, like so.
Which
Dead
was
trees
awesome.
and
Yeah. It was
yeah.
awesome.
It was kind of different that we're not in New York City, and it was just
Yeah. But we're we made it back.
yeah. Boston was pretty awesome. I probably would
Yeah, Boston's legit.
rank
yeah.
Boston number 1, number 2
Dude,
Chicago, and then New York City. Just
Boston, yeah.
because
But everyone in Boston is like in their 20s and 30s. It's a bunch of young professionals. It's a very
Is that a
clean.
college?
A lot
Yeah.
of
college
colleges.
city?
Yeah,
MIT, Harvard,
There's like
CL,
12
there's
colleges in that
there's
city. It's crazy.
Boston
So a
College.
ton of young people,
Hmm.
and really clean. I mean, like I didn't see many homeless people. They are there. I went for a run and saw a few things. That were kind
But not a lot of them.
not a lot. Like the area of the city that we were in was very gentrified, and like
Mhm.
the guy called it bougie. You know that word?
Yeah, bougie.
It's like very fancy. Like
Yeah.
upscale. So it was way too expensive for us to live there long term, but it's fun to be there for a few days and like super historic.
Mhm.
Yeah, Boston, yeah. I haven't
Yeah,
been
we
there. I
went
haven't been there too.
We
Yeah.
went to Harvard.
Went to Harvard. We got a
We
sweatshirt.
went to the Boston Tea Party museum. We didn't.
We saw the
Go to
Boston
the museum.
Massacre site. There's a bunch of American history stuff.
Yeah, that I never
I assume
know
y'all did not
because
study that in school.
no, we don't study.
We don't. Yeah.
Western history.
Mhm.
Western history?
Yeah, Western.
Yeah.
Only Asian.
Yeah.
Would
Or
it-
maybe
history.
if it's way older, if it's a war that affects like everyone in the world, that's gonna be part of a
Yeah, but,
mean
like the
but
World
even
War, Louis?
even the World War
Yeah.
II, we only
World
We're-
War.
That's a very strange way to describe
we're kind of just focused on the Pacific side of it, like
Mm.
Pacific
Mac-
theater.
MacArthur coming back.
Arthur, huh?
Yeah,
The
Like,
legend.
because I remember we also studied the dynasties in China. That's also part of
You have
history.
No Chinese history.
Chinese.
Basically, you wouldn't think that India existed because we never talked about India.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we talk about India a lot.
No, we never
Vishnu,
brought it.
Krishna, no, no,
Never
Yeah,
brought
that
it up.
the
the
gods,
history. Yeah,
Just
Hinduism.
American and European history, pretty much. That's it.
No,
yeah. I think
I,
this part, and then some of the when we or when we study, like systems of government, 'cause there's a
Mhm.
monarchy and stuff. So that's that gets related to which countries are having this type of government now. So that's where you learn about those stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe not in detail, not in depth, but just to have an idea. But it was like
Mhm.
years ago. I don't know what they teach the students now.
They probably changed it. They
Yeah,
typically
maybe they
change that
might have.
fairly often. The thing about history is, um, like if you think about anything that just happened, like last year, there's a bunch of like people that disagree on what actually took place. It's hard to think of an example, but like there's people like that's a conspiracy. No, that's not true. And you might ask your dad
Mhm.
something, and then someone else says something different, and your mom says something different. But if you go back 5 to 10 years, then people tend to be like, okay, yeah, this is generally what happened. You know,
Mhm.
there's still some people that are like, no, it didn't happen that way. But
Mhm.
there's eventually you go far enough back, and now stuff that happened like the 2000s, people are like, yeah, 9/11, it happened, and the terrorists bombed it. Like the story's kind of like, again, 9/11 might not be the best example. What I'm trying to say is, as time goes on, the facts of the events are sort of solidified, but
Mhm.
at no point were the facts ever completely true. The closer you get to any event, if you were able to go back in time, you'd realize that what actually happened was much different, and that an event
Mhm.
taking place can be observed differently from different people. Just
Mhm.
like an eyewitness
Yeah.
testimony is not reliable. Just because you were there or saw it or thought something about it doesn't mean the way that we learn it is even factual. So I'm
Yeah,
not sure what to do with
yeah, but
that
yeah, the
information.
perfect example for that is in the Philippines. This, we talk about is General Luna and Aguinaldo, President
Mhm.
Aguinaldo. Like they've
Yeah, that's
written
a good
on the
one.
books that Aguinaldo's like, he was regarded as a hero. And 100 years later, more than 100 years later, there is this movie that came out that everyone that people are talking about this conspiracy that Aguinaldo had General Luna killed, and he basically sold us to the Americans,
Yeah.
and we never knew
Mhm.
about that. It wasn't
So
that wasn't what's in the history books in the
Yeah.
class,
y-
you know.
yeah. It's
So,
what it. I was trying to look it up because there's a famous quote on it. But I'm sorry, I can't give it to you. So, but the thought is it's always the person who's writing the books, right? Who's in power. They're the one writing the books. So that's how they shape history. And then so generations after, they don't know what really happened. What they only see are the books. But now there's the
mm,
internet. But what they see are the books. So that's how you get an image of that person in your head. Oh, that's the first president. He's a
mhm,
very good guy. Blah blah blah. And now since there's the information is like more accessible now, then people share like, no, that actually there's some stuff written about him which are also true, and then no, he's not really a perfect person. It's not really, some
mhm,
people may contest, it's not, that's not heroic, that's political stuff. But yeah, but since it's probably like the people in power before, they're the authors, right?
mhm,
Maybe they control the authors or they even control like what books uh
Yeah.
you send to the education system. So that's why uh growing up you have a certain that's how those previous presidents.
Oh
And
man.
now fast forward to the time where there's an internet, so there's actually like, and then people start like sharing articles of like other historians that have different perspective, or it's not, I wouldn't even say it's perspective, right? I think some of them are really, really truth. It's just not the truth
mhm,
that they take out, take out from those history books that would make it more, it actually more interesting now how you see it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. So
the,
it's
the
I forgot the actual quote. There's something more smarter way to see it. Like it's something about like is who's in power, and then who's writing the books. They control the history, like
yeah. I
people
know.
writing.
I think I've seen that quote. I know what you're trying to get to. Yeah, it's like
Hmm.
the victors write the history books, but it's in the past, like nowadays we have Wikipedia and like modern articles that can be shared freely, generally speaking. Like now we can see the truth come up from certain things, but in the past it was so much easier to control information and to
Hmm.
control
Yeah.
populations of people, especially
Yeah.
the further back you go. There's like the Persian Empire or something like that, going back to like way like
Yeah.
1000 BC or whatever. When they got taken over by the Romans or whatever, they destroyed their entire library. They
Hmm.
destroyed every written, documented piece of history of the Persians that went back thousands of years, and essentially
Hmm.
wiped them off the face of existence. That's why,
Yeah.
like libraries burned, books that
Yeah.
never will be read, and the world moves on. And the Romans say, "Yeah, the Persians are just a small footnote on history." When
Hmm.
it's again, I don't know what to make of that. I guess it's just a shame, and maybe we're lucky to be alive now. But it's
Hmm.
interesting to think like what could have been if we allowed more
Or
open
even just
source
kept.
storytelling.
Yeah. I think it's the. Yeah, I know the Alexandria Library, but I didn't really look up the history behind it. Because that's the
Is that the
famous
one?
library that get burned out. Library
That's
of Alexandria. That's the famous
yeah.
library that. And then
I may be
they say,
combining two stories. Yeah,
yeah, because it's not even just the history, right? Because I think there are some philosophies also in there. There's certain technologies that you're right, not maybe big advancement, but for sure they discover something. Maybe something about construction or something about our farming. But if you destroy those books, everything gets it's like a reset. And I think it depends on the culture that takes over. Because I've read books saying that there's certain races that when they conquer, I think that the Mongols, since we were talking about the Mongols before, I think the Mongols doesn't really care about your religion. I don't know if that's good. They are just they conquer your land,
yeah.
but they don't really, they let you practice like whatever how where you worship or how you worship. They don't really care about that, but they will take over your land. They will take over your
Yep.
food there. But there are some should I say, how do they call this, what do they call those people like who conquers land,
Conquistadors.
conquistadors, yeah. Something like
Conquerors.
that. There's
Conquerors.
yeah, I think that's how the Spanish, like, because that's how Spanish does it, right? They imply, I know they
Yeah.
conquer
They,
places, but then that place then becomes like them, like they worship the same, like that's how we got our religion, right, in the Philippines,
mhm.
because that's how they conquer places nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, so which is I mean, right now I wouldn't say it should be like a bad thing back then, right? It's because it's wrong, but there's a lot of good from it. I don't know from what I'm saying. Maybe it's biased because that's how we live, like from years, like.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, so it's like different types of how people um try to dominate before. Some
Yeah.
people respect the other aspects of your culture, like they preserve it. Because I even heard, I don't know, I've read before. I think Japan does it differently. The
Hmm.
Japan where Japan before was so harsh, like they
They,
try to destroy even like traces of your culture. They will like
yeah.
replace
They
everything
they
in the
will like
place.
invade
Yeah,
you.
That's
They
the
will
only
yeah.
way to make
invade you.
people hate you, right? Like I think
Hmm.
that's why Genghis Khan was so successful because exactly what you said, Louis. Like the story goes that when they conquered people, they let them keep their religion, keep their culture, but you follow me, and if you don't, you're dead.
Mhm.
So you can keep being yourself, but you just gotta join my army or whatever. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
that's kind of the nicest way conquer somebody. Like when I conquered Glyza, I was like, listen,
Yeah.
you're gonna be my wife. You got to follow me, but I'll let you do whatever you want. You can still, you know, be yourself. But I'm in control
Is it-
now.
But I'm Asian though, so I'm gonna destroy everything.
Yeah, he's gonna wipe out everything. Yeah.
Start from the beginning.
I don't think well. Did the Philippines ever do any conquering or?
No,
No, no.
no. We're
I just got your because you'll have such beautiful islands. Like, why would we ever leave?
No, I don't think it's not that big to be able to like conquer.
we're not.
other
We don't
places,
have
yeah.
that army to.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're also too nice. Y'all guys are like, you're so hospitable. You're probably just like,
that's because
would-
you're
it wouldn't-
white.
Yeah, that's why you're white and you look like a person of money. That's why we're. Oh, hey, welcome,
You
I'm
just
not
Mom,
saying I
sir,
conquered either.
welcome.
I'm not saying like I'm the
my
conqueror.
friend,
I
my
wouldn't-
friend.
Hi, friend.
No,
Of
I think
course
it's because
they're gonna be
Yeah.
nice to you because you look like
Mm.
Because I smile.
you're rich.
Mm.
My mom
like
would
you have
always say,
money.
if you're a foreigner and you came to the Philippines, that means you're rich. That's always been
It
like
certainly means
Hmm.
you have enough money to get there, which is something.
that we don't know that.
But you
they
could
don't
just
know
be in the
that.
army.
They don't know that. We like even me, like growing up, if you're a foreigner and you're in the Philippines, you must be rich because you cannot afford to go in the
Yeah.
Philippines.
Yeah, you have money,
Good point.
So
and then
people
your
are nice
dollar's more valuable than our peso. So
here. Your dollar can
we
buy
always
us
assume that.
It's a
Yeah.
good point. Thailand probably has the same
McDonald's.
order.
Mhm. Yeah, probably.
A dollar can
Yeah.
give me
God,
like
yeah,
a
we fed Isabel McDonald's breakfast for like $2
Yeah, $1.
US.
You can, yeah.
Like $1,
Yeah.
$2.
Whereas if you have a breakfast in the US, it's gonna be like should be the $5, right? But I
Oh my
think
God,
that's
yeah.
too low anymore.
It's like
I think
$15 for
it's
lunch at McDonald's now. It's crazy.
15?
Waffle
Oh,
House
wow,
is
so-
like
If you get like a Whopper.
$12.
But listen, I want to say
Yeah.
before we move topics, I hate when people say listen before they say something.
You just did.
I know.
You just
I
you
hate
just
that.
Just
I
did
don't want
it.
to be that
But-
person.
maybe
Listen,
just say by the way or but
by the
listen.
way, I wanted to add I wanted to add that first time I went to the Philippines, I had only met Liza for like 4 months.
Yeah, you're so in love.
And
Mm.
I did
Wow.
not know any
I'm
of
willing to-
this.
Go through ends of the world.
No, listen, she proposed it to me like a vacation. And little did I know that by meeting her family, I was essentially,
That's
You could have-
already
I was like,
you could have
signing the
said
line.
no.
I'm
You
like-
could have said
I didn't
you could have said,
know
yeah, no,
culturally
yeah.
that was such a big
Yeah.
deal. I also didn't know that like white people, like what you just said about like white people that come there are rich and the exchange currency. I didn't look any of this up. I didn't even look up Google Maps to see like what Philippines look like. I thought it was just a beach, like resort type thing. And when we
Big
landed there, I was
ignorance is a
so
bliss.
shocked at like obviously the way that it was. But I went completely blind and I met your family and all that. And it wasn't until like the flight home or maybe like throughout our trip that you sort of started to explain to me like this is why everyone's staring at you in the mall. And this is why the poor kids go up to
This
ask
is-
you for money.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why like,
I was like,
a
what?
random person in
idea.
church just went to you and like
ask for
shook your
money.
And
hand.
shook my head. I was like, oh yeah, I can't believe you're here.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I was like, what the hell's going on?
What's
So-
going on?
It's like, what?
What?
Innocently, like I honestly,
What?
truly didn't.
Why am I
know.
a celebrity? So all of a sudden.
It felt good.
It was in a church and mass was in
I
Bisaya.
went to a mass in Messiah,
Oh
And
wow.
everyone was
and it was my second day there. We were still jet lagged. I was like, my stomach was
everyone was
hurt,
looking at us.
and we were sitting there
Well,
like,
so
I
you
don't understand,
understand?
a freaking word that they're saying here for an hour. And there's birds
Even-
flying into this church. It's outdoors.
And there was a dog.
There's
and then
dogs
after the
everywhere.
mass, this
Yeah,
random
straight-
guy just went
straight
up to him.
Liza didn't tell me
It's
any of
like,
this.
yeah,
She didn't tell me. She
Thank
didn't
you
prepare
for
me at
coming.
all.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you
fun.
very much.
That's a good
So-
movie in the scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they were making a Love Actually, this like now years, that would be part of it, right?
Yeah,
Have you
that
seen that
was-
movie? That movie was
Yeah,
like
it's a
like
good
different
movie.
type. Yeah.
You
It's
threw
just
me into the. I think I asked for it though because I think you tried to talk to me about it, and I was like, no, I don't like to, because I don't like to watch um, trailers before a movie. I don't like any spoilers.
oh
So I was
well,
probably
yeah.
told you like, no, don't tell me anything. I just want to go and I want to be surprised. And now
Wow.
when I got there, I was like, I wish you would have prepared me a little bit about like, what to expect and the cultural dynamics. But that was,
It's a different world.
I think it's good to be innocent. I truly
Oh yeah, it's a
love.
very
You
different.
were
Yeah.
culturally shocked,
I was so shocked.
and then you
It's
had to
funny though.
like,
And then 2 days later, I was in a
then you had
gamecock pit fight.
Oh,
then
so
you had
that's the
to like,
same time. Oh, that's
yeah, that
actually we
was
were like immersed in.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you had
Yeah.
to like knife the head of a lechon.
that was my first day there. They made me cut the head off of a lechon pig, and
Oh,
they're like, eat the skin. I was like, I'd rather not. It was like, you have to eat the skin, or it's bad luck, and the whole family's cursed.
no,
Or
no, no,
something.
no,
No.
no,
Something like that.
What's
That
gonna-
thing
Okay.
he's making up.
That's
Right.
that should be a
But-
joke. Like, curse.
Then the preacher was throwing water on your
That's
walls.
it. It's called a
Oh, that's
priest,
the
not a preacher.
Preacher, sorry. Sorry for
that's a thing though. Yeah, we holy water and then, yeah. Maybe there's a new. Is it a new place or is it a blessing of a?
It was a
No,
new
our,
place,
our
yeah.
house
place.
was
Yeah.
kind of rebuilt, and
Oh, renovated.
I
So
didn't know-
that's
I
what.
was
Yeah.
also like blindsided by my mom. I didn't know that it was like a big party. I thought it was just
Filipinos
gonna
don't
be.
communicate either. You guys
It's
never
gonna-
talk.
It was just gonna be like, oh, like there's gonna be a mass and there's gonna be food, and then all my relatives came over.
Oh yeah, because it's
Oh my god, it's a big party.
because he Adam has been introduced like, oh, my boyfriend's going to the Philippines, so that's why they're, oh, we're gonna, call the relatives, fix the house. You don't want to be
So,
ashamed
Yeah.
because it's the same story. Not really the same. I have a friend in college. Glyza knows. I don't think Glyza knows her. I don't think she knows. So my friend in college. He also worked at Accenture before, and back in college, like we know how their house looks like. No, though, because we hang out this place. It's a very simple place. And then I think when he started working, his girlfriend is from Manila, and then they're married now. But it was just a funny story because he was always saying like, when
is this Ray?
Oh, Ray, yeah.
Okay.
Because when he told his parents like, oh, I'm gonna bring my girlfriend here from Manila to meet you, blah blah. And then I think he was um um I don't know where he was living that time. Maybe he was in Manila. He was going to Manila that time. And then when he got home, he said like the things that were like should I say not fixed in his home were already fixed. Everything's so clean. Everything lovely because and then it was funny how he was describing it like because we know what the place looked like before, right? And he was like, remember this that part of the house? Yeah, it's fixed now. And remember that part of the house? Yeah,
That
it's
was the
fixed now because of my because of my girlfriend. So it's funny. It's like they're I don't know. Maybe years like maybe we'll understand that like oh no, our son or our daughter is like bringing his boyfriend home. You should like
Fix the roof. Come
yeah,
paint
fix
the
the roof,
ceiling,
fix
you know.
everything like.
Yeah.
Maybe you're gonna wear a three-piece suit, I don't know.
Like, you don't dress like this.
We don't like that. What are you doing? No.
Your mom was wanting to get an AC unit because I was going to stay in the house. Like, oh, he's
Yeah,
gonna
just
need
for the
AC.
visitor, right?
Yeah, he's not going to want to sleep without AC.
We actually got an AC unit, but you still didn't want to go in there.
Well, I mean, I came
Right,
in there
it's
like, okay, like,
But our
there's a
AC
hotel down the road that's like,
but our
$10.
AC there is not the same as like a central AC unit here. It's like, it could be.
Oh, yeah.
It's
No, I know.
not. It's not like
You have to buy
high end.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, not to be too sentimental or cute, or what's the
Don't
word?
be sentimental.
What's the word? Donget? Not donget.
Hmm?
Is it food or
No, the word we were just talking about.
Killing?
Killig. Not to be too
killig.
killig.
No,
But
don't say it.
When I went on that
Don't
trip,
say it.
that's when I knew
Don't say it.
that I was going
Yeah.
to marry Glyza. That's when I thought I was in love.
so that's part
If
of
she's the
the
right person.
and I said it should be in Love Actually. This should be a scene in Love
yeah.
Actually.
I was shocked, but I found love because
yeah.
I figured it out. I said, I love the Filipino culture. I love your friends.
I'm gonna be
I'm gonna be honest with you. right across near our island, there's a island named called Sikihor, and they're known
Mm.
for their love potions.
Yeah.
Sikihor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The island
Don't
of
break
love
it down.
potions?
You should read it as one word. Don't break it as
Sikihor.
two words.
Sikihor.
Yeah. We love people from Sikihor for listeners. It's just we're just playing
I
around
didn't say
here.
anything at all. I'm just repeating
Now
the
you're
name.
putting
Yeah.
that thought in my head,
Shout out to
which
the
I never
Sikihors.
had before.
Subtle
And just because
Sikihors.
you look at me and then I can't get it off my head anymore.
Does it get
It's like Arnold.
dirty? over there?
Arnold.
But-
Arnold.
Listen,
But
Arnold.
I feel bad.
do not
we
talk-
shouldn't have gone down
Do
that
not
route.
talk bad about the people of Sikihor
Nope, get your
because-
finger out of my face, first of all. Do not
because
put your finger in my face.
some of them
That-
practice voodoo. Okay,
Voodoo. I don't
Yeah.
believe in voodoo, so it doesn't work on me.
let's see. But the
That-
love
yeah,
potion
it's,
work.
You
Yeah.
gave me love potion?
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you the story.
Love
I don't get it.
Sprinkled some in your lechon. Let's say this.
That would
Yeah,
make
no.
sense.
And then
because-
my all of my relatives also was
No, I mean,
something that-
if you, well, Louis is a good example too. Like, if you meet somebody and you're not sure about them, meet their friends, meet their family. That's when you'll know who they really are, because you'll know who they surround themselves with and who brought them up, who raised them.
Mhm.
When you find out that those people are great, that's when you keep that person. You find a
So
big
who
red flag.
was-
They have some crazy friends, or their family's out of control.
So was there any particular person in my circle of friends or my family that was like, okay,
Ryan.
right?
No, I'm just kidding. I was trying to think of the most random person ever.
I was thinking,
He wasn't even there.
Yeah,
yeah.
your mom,
Like-
and your sister,
Okay.
your brother John,
That's good.
stuff like that. Yeah. Marco, Bolo.
Marco Polo's at the hotel.
Yeah, Marco Polo. Yeah, I did love Harold's. I love your breakfast buffets. That's mainly what
Harold's. Oh
did
yeah,
it
that's
for me.
the
the mall.
that's the hotel, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Harold's has great coffee. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Shout
That's
out to Harold.
Shout out
Shout out.
Harold's.
Your
20%
coffee's
off
great.
coupon if you
Yeah.
put Fatafit in the link below.
take 10%, 15% off. Use Fatafit.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like the hotels there are very expensive, but the breakfast, the breakfast that they serve is, not.
Oh
it's
my God.
not
Oh, in
good.
America?
Like it's not even
Oh,
Yeah.
half.
it's disgusting. It's not even like
It's
palatable food.
Yeah, I've tried different. I forgot the name of the hotel. It's usually just because I don't go to those like, expensive hotels in there, right? It's just those like enough for the budget. Like I was doing this in Florida when I was just like going to a hotel, and then most of them are just like self service
Mhm.
kind of buffet. So I was
Something
even fascinated with that like pancake making machine where just like you just press it and there's like an egg where so yeah, and it's not even like it's like I can get like why it's free, right? Because it's not. Yeah,
You see what?
well, yeah, I see why. Like, I see of course, they should be free. Like, it's not really,
Let's never pay
there's no
for
one in
this.
here. There's no one really serving, and the taste is like, it's so well. You won't get hungry, and that's what I would say, right?
Yeah, you'll survive on.
You're not
that
gonna
stuff.
starve, but it's
But-
not really a buffet. I wouldn't
Yeah,
call
but,
it like a breakfast
you know,
buffet.
It's
But think about those buffets in the Philippines, man. God, I would do anything to go to a Filipino buffet tomorrow.
like a breakfast buffet.
Dude, just
Good.
so great. It could be the only meal you eat all day long.
Especially those like I would already consider it high end ones where there's the American breakfast and then there's like a Filipino breakfast and then yeah, you just want to stay in there, but usually it's only until maybe 9 a.m. right? Or 9 a.m. or there's a cutoff, so you feel bad because of there's a cutoff. But yeah, they're good. It's like chefs preparing those meals. Did Adam leave or I can?
He went. Oh, what happened? Oh, okay.
I thought he had to like run.
You didn't have to stop. No, the dryer was overheating.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Mm.
But buffets, man, that's got to be. I wish we didn't bring it up because now I'm disappointed. Now I'm just depressed. I'm like 3,000 miles away from a Filipino buffet.
Yeah, there should be something. No, I don't think. Is there
Let's go
something
back to the
similar there?
Philippines. Can we take 3 weeks off?
Did you just?
I need to see Louie and Dale.
Oh
We
yeah,
need
I
to do a
saw. I
podcast
actually saw
together.
Dale. Yes, last
What?
Thursday he went to the office.
Really?
You were surprised, like yeah, yeah, but he can't join. Yeah, he said he can't join today because it's a family trip, and
Yeah.
his mic is his mic is probably still in Florida because he put it in a box, the balikbayan box. You do so he only have his laptop and his camera, and then and he even said like he's looking for a mic where like maybe just a smaller mic or just a USB mic, and then he brought the idea like a funny thing would be because the box usually ships 2 to 3 months, and it's possible that the box arrives in the Philippines and then by that time he's already back to the US. So that's why he said like
Wow.
we'll see what would happen. He's gonna end up like
crazy.
buying new stuff.
So
So he's
he is
going
coming back.
Is that what
They're
the vibe
work
is?
they're working on it. That's what I know because we need
Okay.
him. We need him back in Miami, and then there's a lot of paperwork that needs to be done, needs to get approved. So they're working on it I think as fast as possible.
So,
So,
but
yeah.
he's still with the same
Yes.
client.
Yeah, he's working night shift now. He's working
Okay.
evenings,
Oh,
night shift. So because we need him to work, US time.
oh man.
But yeah,
And are
It's fun,
they
I think.
trying to still push work visa or the green card?
not the work. I think he can't go with a green card because he's not there. He's not physically in there. So they need to fly him there first with something, maybe a work visa, and then continue with the
Yeah, about the-
green card.
About
I
that
wonder if
because
he goes back
when
to-
you're in the US, wait,
I
Does he
think
go
you
back
need to be
Calva?
in there to
Yeah,
process the green card. You only go
but-
home to the Philippines if you're already approved.
he doesn't have like the because there's a work card where he can use it. I forgot what it's called. Which Ryan
A work visa.
Ryan
Work
has it.
visa. Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. Oh my
A work
god.
MasterCard.
No.
A fiance.
No, it's part of the green card. While you're waiting for the waiting for the green card, you'll be allowed to work using that, card or something.
Oh,
Is it
yeah.
like
But
a
I think
purple card?
it's
But I don't know if he has that. So if he doesn't have that, it makes sense that he can't, he can't work
Let's
here.
just have Dale tell us next time he's on.
Yeah, I hope
I'm
he's
just saying that the
on.
way it works is you can stay here as long as you have, it's processing, and then you can work it as long as you have that document.
If you could put together all the time that you've spent talking about immigration.
Oh,
forms-
I'm an expert now.
I mean, she's
I
Yeah.
can be.
spent months of her life.
I can have clients,
paperwork.
Yeah.
She
Be
could start her
an
own
immigration
law firm.
lawyer.
Yeah.
and I did not use a lawyer. We did not use a
No
lawyer.
lawyers here.
Mm.
Yeah.
I did it
Eliza's a
myself.
lawyer. You passed the bar while you were studying for all
For
this.
immigration.
Because I
Pass the
think
bar for
Ryan used a
immigration.
lawyer.
I think
and
if
then
you use a lawyer if you want something just to send them documents and then they have to send you a follow up stuff. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it's a service, right? I think
yeah.
the same with your taxes, right? You can do it on your own.
It's probably worth it because Eliza spent hours, like, so many hours. It'd probably be worth to get those hours back because, I was sitting
This
there
thick.
alone. Just picture me on the couch alone with no one to talk to, all by myself. She's off in the office doing immigration work,
Mhm.
and I'm lonely. That's unacceptable.
I was like,
I need companionship.
you need to
You need to do
pay
fun
for that.
things.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about me and my needs.
I was doing it while at
I
work.
need love. I need killing.
Killing.
I need killing. I
Kidding.
need that.
Killing.
I didn't get that. So
Yeah,
I'll pay
I'm
for
curious
a
how
lawyer
to
next time.
explain that. Killing.
The,
But maybe you're gonna read it in a book in the future.
I know. We'll look out for.
I hope she, puts your name on there, or shout out to my friends I met in Amtrak for inspiring me to write this story about a Filipino woman, in the
love
U.S.
story.
Yeah.
Could be. She's 83 years old. She might be crazy. There's a chance there.
Oh, wow.
We did not say her
Nice.
name. So,
Yeah.
um,
I wonder you
So-
could
but-
just like ask her like, how many synonyms can you think of
Yeah.
with the word, because that's how I know that I always like find
You
it
can-
fascinating with authors because they know a lot of words, right?
You,
Their
you
vocabulary
can
is
tell from that conversation, even before she said that she never said that she was an honor. We just,
we
But how
Googled
she
it.
we
frames
Googled-
sentences.
but
Yeah.
the way she
So
talks, you know that
articulate.
she's smart, like, and then she quoted Oscar Wilde,
She was
It's like-
quoting, these.
Oh, wow.
and it's like, oh, she's
That's
She's
very in depth with like,
eloquent,
Yeah, guys have
Then-
really hit it off with her.
well read.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
and
it was a
Yeah.
great conversation, and she just wanted someone to like go with her during like going to the train because she's obviously
Follow us.
she hasn't been.
You said she's 83, right?
83.
80,
Oh,
83,
wow, that's-
82.
It's an
But she doesn't
achievement.
look
But
like
83 is the new 73.
she doesn't look like that. She's older.
She's hot.
Because she looks 73. Oh no.
She looks like-
She was beautiful.
but yeah, she was a
She was a young
just a-
73. She looked like a young
83.
83.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
good.
was a,
meeting
it's a great
authors,
conversation.
yeah.
Um,
Because they're so technical how to write sentences, right? It should be because they're not just like making a state. Let's say they're not just describing something. They're for sure they're thinking like, should I describe it this way? Should I start it with this way? Should I set it up? I think it's similar with how those comedians write jokes, right? It's not. Should I start with this one? So
Yeah.
it would be like I would imagine like if even in their like normal conversation they're already like have that in their mind that it comes out natural to them, like I should use this word describing this one, I should
Yeah.
use this word.
And what's really great about that conversation is she wasn't talking a lot about herself only, like, because there's a lot of people who just like talk about themselves.
mhm.
She was like really interested in like the culture, the differences, like the words, and you can see she's like very,
Curious
enthusiastic
or
about
interested.
it, very like,
Yeah, interested in
you
learning.
know,
There's I don't want to say there's not many people like that, but it's rare that you have interaction that like that. Where you find someone that's genuinely curious.
How did it happen though? She happened to be sitting next to you.
we sat next to her, and then she like kind of like,
She's
I
like,
think
"Which
she
train
was
are you
stopped.
going?"
She said, "Excuse me," and it's like,
At first, I was like, "Oh God, this person's gonna yap our face
yeah,
off.
I felt
We're
bad
never
because
gonna get
like
her to shut up."
I was sitting I sat next to her, and I did not want to talk. I kind of just, oh my god,
We were
I
so
just-
tired,
and then like she said, "Excuse me," I said, "Okay."
Oh, here we go. You're like,
Because I didn't want to have any conversation. But then it turned out it was a great conversation. It was because it was, she really
which
is
is
that.
unusual for you because you're usually like antisocial.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
usually the person who's like everyone talks to you and they
Yeah,
just
I talk
kind
to
of like
all of
step
them.
away and it's like, oh,
I have a face that people just
Bye.
want to talk to.
people just want to. This guy looks friendly.
Yeah, I think.
How did you start it, though? Did you ask about the time?
the
Do you have
train that we're
mint?
supposed to go to, because
Like
there's
how-
like a lot of trains coming in and out in that station, and then I just said, yeah, we're
Oh.
going to New York, and this is our train. It's like, oh, we're in the same train. Oh, and then she asked if we can, go with us
Yeah.
when because she's new to the place. She hasn't been in that station before. Well, same with us. It's like we're just gonna have to go together
Yeah.
and discover where to
Yeah.
go.
If that was me, I wouldn't be trusting because usually if it's someone's doing that, I'm gonna be like, is this woman with
Yeah.
someone who's gonna,
Yeah, I'm
you
always
know, point a
defensive with
gun
that.
at
Yeah.
me?
You well,
Like, where are you
there's-
going with this? Yeah, there's already. I wouldn't be listening to her. I would be like, why is she asking me this?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
There's usually a few turns in the conversation that like raise your red flag.
Mhm.
Yeah,
She
like,
never,
what's your
she never took
social
that turn when she could have. Yeah,
security number? You know,
yeah, exactly. Like,
what's
do you bank with Bank of America? Was it?
yeah?
You know,
What's that? If you were at an ATM, what number do you usually press?
give me a 4-digit number off the top of your head. Yeah, none of that.
Yeah.
She didn't give us any of that. She just kept very innocent, and
Mhm.
the conversation would die down, and then it would start back up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Something else. She talked
It
about.
would be refreshing for her too. I would think.
Yeah, she
You know,
just
like,
old
just-
people want to talk sometimes. Like I was at the grocery store.
I think she's kind of like, her husband died like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
I felt
wow.
like she might be a little lonely. I don't know. Or
Yeah,
something.
maybe.
she gave me
Yeah.
her number.
Really?
She told me, "Hey, if anything ever happens to you and that Filipino girl, give me a call." And I was like, "Okay." I was like,
And by
Maybe.
happens.
just if it doesn't work out between us,
If that doesn't work out, Yeah.
That means
I'll show you Kilig.
she grabbed my butt as I walked by. I thought that was inappropriate. But besides that, everything was perfect. She was good.
Yeah. Good. Shout out to the author in the train. We're not gonna
I
name
actually
her because
know
she's-
her
The
name.
author in the train. That sounds
I know
like a
her
movie.
name.
Mm.
I know her husband's name. I don't know. I just googled it.
She doesn't know
Yeah.
anything about us except for Killick.
That's a book. That's already a book, like author in the train.
Author on the train.
Mm.
The Murder on the Orient Express.
Or Amtrak. Yeah, Murder in Amtrak.
The Murder
Author
on
I'm
in
Amtrak.
actually planning to
83-year-old.
maybe buy one of her books and try to read it and see if
Yeah,
it's
maybe
good.
just a good one. Just out of
I think that where's like
don't download a PDF version of it where it's free. Yeah, because you'll be like she'll be pissed if you're just download
Yeah.
a free version.
Oh yeah, just like illegally download it.
Yeah.
it's I think there's one that's really like rated high.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well, we'll look
You say
into it.
documentaries? That's her more of her like work
No, the
No,
husband.
her
or
husband was like
fiction.
a
the
documentary
husband.
is for
Oh, because
like
he's
Discovery
a
Channel?
film, right? Yeah, because the husband's more
they
on
film in like
filmmaking.
Papua New Guinea.
Mm.
They spent a long time there.
She divides her time between New York City,
Don't say
Montreal,
that.
and Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Oh, she wasn't lying.
He's the daughter of
Don't say
Robert.
anything.
Did you say you just look it up and that's how you knew she was an author, right? She didn't bring it up while you were talking.
I know her first name,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know her last name. So I googled,
She told us the movie
Oh.
that he directed.
the Lord of the
okay.
Flies, and then I just kind of like
Put the
You know,
pieces there.
dig some of the.
Yeah, don't give Liza much because she
And then
Yeah.
I googled that person, her husband, and then I found her name because I know her name. It's like, oh, this is her. This is her full name.
So she wasn't lying, right? You see,
She
there
wasn't
should be a
lying.
photo of her online.
She's not
Yeah.
lying
That's
So
good.
we kind of just
yet.
Maybe she was like waiting, like director of Lord of the Flies, and you go like, "What? Oh my god!" And then maybe your reaction was just like, "Cool."
We're like, what is that?
It was-
It's like a movie that came out
God,
in
they're not-
1955.
You're not impressed?
Have you seen a movie called
I'm just joking around.
Poopy, Stinky, Stinky?
If she ends up like listening this, I'm just joking.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm
I
sorry.
love you. And
Yeah.
you didn't send me that note. I was just kidding.
Yeah, we're just kidding.
I think one of the
Well,
Book.
I'm
Anyway.
surprised we talked about her as long as we did. It made more of
yeah.
an impression on Glyza, I think.
Author on the
Definitively.
train. I just put the title of this episode as author on the train.
On the train. The mysterious.
In the train. Author in the
Author.
train.
Train author.
Yeah,
Trauthor.
train
I forgot her husband's name. There was a okay. Maybe
train
next
author.
time.
Oh yeah, I actually want to bring up because next should be the episode 35, so we should have a guest. I'm
Yeah.
thinking we should get Ryan still, or Eileen doesn't know yet about this podcast. I'm thinking
Yeah.
she, uh, but our project's gonna be busy next weekend, so I'm not sure if she'll be able to have a time to,
Yeah.
you know,
It might not
be a
work.
guest.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we get Ryan and Dale on, it'll really feel like a party.
Yeah, I think
'Cause
Dale
that'll be
should
the most
be.
people.
I think Dale should be. Because Isa was suggesting to me, why not have Dale, like, at my place, and then I set this up as a maybe a studio
Oh
or
yeah, it
something.
could be 2 and 2. That would be a special
Yeah.
event to have Dale in person in the Philippines.
Yeah, but I'm thinking how to set up the. I wouldn't have the. I don't think I have the setup yet to have this. Have two people.
It has to be like
And
Joe
then guess
Rogan's podcast in a way.
Yeah, so I don't have
Two
a table, or just maybe just two chairs, and then one table in front. That's always how I picture it, right?
Yeah.
Like a coffee table in front, and then where the mics are plugged in, and then excuse me, and then I just have maybe a couch or a chair. We like be in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Soon.
That would
But he
work. I
did
mean,
say he can do a podcast at home.
Well-
He has a own room.
Dale, he's been so long since he's been on the podcast. He's almost like a guest
Yeah, I guess now.
just by appearing. But no, I mean, if we
Yeah.
can get Ryan too.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm thinking maybe we
Or-
just get Ryan, right? Because we can just
Yeah.
talk about typhoons again. No
he'll go
stuff.
off. He'll say
I think
something
he'll-
wild. I'm sure.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just ask Ryan. Eileen, I'll just save Eileen for maybe another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll work on. Maybe we can get this 83-year-old woman on the next episode 45.
How would you
Oh yeah, we
contact
could.
her?
Yeah.
That'd be a good guest.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just researching because I know there's something that was. So her husband was the director of photography for. Okay. Okay, I'm not. I'm just.
And it's
okay.
just because someone might.
Let's keep it. Keep it.
Yeah.
Let's let her have a mystery
Okay.
identity.
Yeah.
She probably won't. I
Because
don't know.
it could maybe months down the line she could be a guest, and then you're just gonna share in the podcast like you know how we met. Yeah, you know how we met. We're at the train, blah blah blah. Be
And
like we may be like
man.
setting up a special moment here.
And then we're on her
the future.
inheritance. And then when she passes, we have like millions of dollars.
You're just
And her
wild.
house in the Upper West Side.
That's
She has a daughter. She mentioned she has a daughter.
That we can get her out of the picture.
like,
I can deal with. I can work with that.
no, that's a different movie. No, not
That's,
Love
that's
Actually.
part 2.
It's,
It's
part 2.
That's the horror film.
It's
For
a
the
thriller.
The
thriller. So it's like the Knives Out. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna be summoned by the lawyers, and then you're in the will, and there's gonna be drama like BS. Why are you giving everything to the couple in the train to New York? So
We shared something special. You don't understand.
it's gonna be that drama. Ding ding ding.
Dun, dun.
Yeah. You're gonna get a box delivered to your front door, then you're gonna be invited to the party, and then turns out that's party where she's gonna read the will. Then turns out like you inherit the book deal, or I don't know.
Those type of movies sometimes are just like
There's no
out of the world. Like just doesn't happen. I don't know.
I like those movies.
You do?
It's fun.
Those are fun. We watched them in the Philippines. Brings me back. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, this is a good podcast. The only
Yeah.
thing I regret talking about is the first part, but I think we did really good. I think
What,
we
Yeah,
did
first
awesome.
I'm not gonna put clips about that. Just
yeah.
yeah.
But I think we didn't say anything bad. But
Yeah.
this was great to be reunited after a week off, and
Mhm.
hopefully we can get our guests next week.
Yeah, Gas and Dale.
Let's go.
Oh, we don't have
Yeah.
a guest yet.
Well, you were researching while we were talking, but
Yeah.
we're getting Ryan.
Maybe Ryan
Mhm.
again, or I was thinking Eileen before, but I'm not sure if the time, and because she doesn't know anything about the podcast yet. I'm not sure if
Mhm.
she's that flexible for that next weekend because I know our project's gonna be busy in that weekend.
What about
Because
you?
there, no, I don't think she's ready for a podcast yet.
She doesn't
She
want
listens.
to.
She listens to
She doesn't.
every
I'll
episode. So,
convince her.
yeah,
What'd you say?
I
I'll
know.
convince her.
Have her as a guest? No. Uh,
I don't think she
We
will.
can have your
though.
sister.
No. It's like,
I'm just thinking outside
Yeah.
the box. Yeah, we'll think
yeah,
about
I
it.
have friends. I can contact some
No,
friends. How
I
about
have-
you? You have friends?
I have friends. We can have Ross.
yeah, Ross is like some of our clips. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got all the podcast equipment at his house,
Oh yeah, because he
Oh,
said he
yeah.
has a podcast
and
for
he's in
the
tech, so he won't have any issues. He'll know what to do when things go
He
wrong.
probably will just wait for us. I was like, what's going on?
Anyway, we can think
Yeah.
about it.
I think we'll just I'll ask Ryan. I think he should be down, and then he's gonna talk about a bunch of stuff. Maybe start we can start
Post
hurricane.
hurricane.
Yeah, hurricane.
Yeah.
How was hurricane?
Yeah, how's the
Yeah. How's the
how's the
Milton,
building? If
Helene
it's
and
still
Milton, then
the
flooding.
building is still in the
Yeah.
I'm sure
capital.
Tallahassee's even
Still
worse than
erect,
it was
you know.
before. It was perfectly intact. It was bad. I'm imagining it's worse. It has to be worse.
That's we have to ask about the Dunkin' Donut situation if it's still
Yeah, it's still
God,
open.
yeah.
still in
Was
business.
that museum closed down?
Yeah.
That was the only cool thing there.
Yeah. He sent me a
Batmobile
picture of
or
the Batmobile. By the way, send me a messenger. This is what I'm. He was like, "Oh, this is what I'm. This is what I was like talking about in the podcast." And it's the actual like old Batmobile. Yeah,
I hope it survived the storm.
yeah.
Swept
I know
away.
it's Batman's car, so it should.
If it's fully functional, yes,
Yeah,
it should be fine.
Should be fine. Wonder how to title this episode. Just the author, right? I'm not gonna put in there Arnold.
Well, you could throw in some Filipino breakfast buffet.
no,
Killing. I could
author
put killing.
and author
haven't
and
really
culture.
Author and culture,
Culture.
Killick, and
killing.
cartoons.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Arthur on the train. Filipino breakfast.
Mm.
Killick. I'm just thinking of Filipino
Arnold.
breakfast.
Yeah,
Author.
Arnold.
No,
author.
no.
Yeah, all A's, right?
Pretend like Arnold didn't happen.
Oh, sorry. All A's, like author on the train,
Amtrak.
Arnold, Amtrak. Just all A's. Yeah, doing alphabet episode.
I'm sorry that our stories took up the whole podcast, Louis. Thank you.
No, it's fine. That's good. Like I said, like we can. I know we can wing it. If you have a topic, we can push that in. But I know we can just wing it and just talk about a bunch of stuff and then like build up from there.
We didn't even talk about Joker, but it's late.
Yeah, I know it's a.
Yeah,
I
we're
just-
just gonna take about Joker and then another J next week.
Yeah, that'll be next week. Will be J. We'll focus on one letter per week. That'd be cool.
Joker.
Well, we started at A. We're still at A. We can skip to
Jollibee.
J right away.
Joker Jollibee.
Joker,
Jollibee.
and Josephus.
No. And
Jamboree.
Jeff.
let's see.
Jeff.
Jeff. Oh no, not Jeff. I don't want him to get.
No.
I don't want him to be related to this.
Jeff is nobody.
or-
Just a random name. I didn't even.
Yeah, I don't want this to be related to that online presence.
No.
Yeah,
Scratch that.
yeah.
Anyway, it's a good podcast.
And there's another J in there.
Yeah.
It's another J.
Jadajit. You know. This is a Jadajit episode because we're at J. Good. Okay.
All right. Well.
Right. So yeah, that was a good one. So I don't know how to close this out.
It's always awkward to end it.
Yeah, it's always awkward. It was good. But the author, we're hope you're doing well now. She should be in New York. That's last you talked to her. So hope she's doing well. Hope she's inspired with the cultural the differences and then the killing. Maybe we're gonna read something about that written by an American author soon. So, yep. Hope you're doing well. Then next episode, we're gonna have Ryan and have a guest. Yep, that's it. I think it's this one now, the Korean stuff, the smaller heart. Yeah,
Small heart.
right. All love. Whatever you heard in the first part of this episode, we all just want love everywhere. No,
Yeah, that's
Heart.
exactly right.
smaller
said.
one, this one, and then the bigger one is the McDonald's. All right. Wanna close? Say something, or just gonna say like we're out. We're out.
I think let's say we're out on 3. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. We're out.
We're out.
Okay, that was so bad. You didn't say anything.
Didn't say anything.
You said a different time.
Oh, really? Yeah.
1, 2,
3.
We're
we're
out.
out.
No, what? You
No,
didn't
that was
say
4.
3.
That was 4.
You did a silent 4.
And
then
then
said
4.
On 3 or
No, 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4 count,
4
you say
got.
we're out.
We're out. Okay.
1, 2, 3. We're
We're
out.
out. That's